The Dershow.
So what's the answer on foreign students, and why are so many of the foreign students, I don't know the percentages, but certainly in numbers, why are so many of the foreign students anti-Israel and anti-American? And does the United States have the right to say to foreign students, all right, you can come to our country and get an education, but we're not going to let you spend your time here attacking America and attacking America's allies and intimidating students and not letting them go to class? No, maybe you haven't committed any crimes, but we never should have let you in the first place if we knew. And you should have told us under the law. But if we knew that you were sympathetic to America's enemies, Hamas, Hezbollah, the Houthis, American soldiers may die as the result of going after the Houthis. If we knew you were supportive of these Islamic terrorists, we never would have let you in. And if they would have let them in, that would have been a serious mistake. Remember, the First Amendment does not apply to decisions who to admit in the country. We could say, if we wanted to, that we will not accept people who exercise their First Amendment right to attack America. No, we want you to be patriotic. I remember when my friends, some of them took citizenship tests, they were required to be patriotic to Americans and to America. Patriotic doesn't mean uncritical, but it also doesn't mean having encampments at Columbia University, comparing Columbia to Nazis. So I hope that Khalil remains deported. I hope that anybody who supports Hamas and has a student visa gets deported. These are not First Amendment issues because these people can exercise free speech outside the country. They can send Zooms. As I've said before, if Khalil were to make a speech on Zoom today from his cell, wherever he is, it would be the most widely watched speech he had ever made. So you still have your free speech rights, but you don't have the right to be in this country and get one of the greatest, what used to be one of the greatest educations in the world. It still is in some areas. But boy, to tell you, I would not today go to an American university, at least many American universities, and study political theory or sociology or some of the other subjects that have become infected with bias and bigotry. So I think that these deportation cases have alerted us to a bigger problem. And the bigger problem is how we decide who to admit to this country, how we decide who we want to become part of the American fabric, and particularly who we want to admit to American universities. Now, you can say American universities have the right to make their own decisions within limits, but they don't have the right to tell us who to give visas to. And I think we ought to be more selective, and I think we ought to ask more probing questions on visa applications as to how the students intend to spend their time. If they intend to spend their time, hating America, defeating America, destroying American universities, blocking access to campus, no, go to another country. We don't really want you here. We don't want to give you an education that you can then go back to your country and help your country defeat America, not only on the marketplace economically, but possibly and arguably even on the battlefield. We are training people who may very well go back to their countries and help them to develop weapons for use against America. So these are fair questions. I don't think the answers immediately jump out at you. Again, don't want to impose restrictions or quotas or anything of that kind on foreign students. I want meritocracy to prevail. If you're better than an American applicant, okay. But if you're not as good as an American applicant, I don't see why you get an advantage just because you're going to pay full freight and maybe you'll bring with you some added benefits of economics as the Qataris and the Saudis do. I have a friend who was a major administrator in a major American university, and he told me that at his university there were 5 slots allocated that the president could give out without regard to merit, and they always went to Saudi Arabians, not because they're smarter than people from Norway, but because they have more money and they're willing to give them to American universities. Give is an overstatement. Use the money in order to benefit. Because remember, America first. Every country is first. Saudi Arabia first. Qatar first. Every country puts its own interest first, and that's understandable. The question is, we in America, who are a global power, both economically and militarily, but also educationally, how we use our educational power to not only our advantage, the advantage of the world. Of course, if you're a cancer researcher from I don't care where, and you're going to help develop a cure for cancer or some other really, really important research project, we want you. Because we want the project. And if it can be better done in the United States with collaboration, fine. But second, nice to get the credit for it. But if you just come in here to increase your skills as an anti-American zealot opponent of democracy, no, I'm not in favor of that. Neither side should overstate their positions, but there are positions on all sides. Right now, almost every American university is complaining bitterly about Trump's deportations policies. Look in the mirror. Ask yourself whether you're not part of the cause of that problem by having admitted so many foreign students who are less qualified just based on the fact that they were going to contribute more money to your universities. Are you part of the problem? Should you have done something to make sure that the Khalils of the world did not get admitted to Columbia and live on its campus, even though he wasn't a student at the time? Did you facilitate fraud on the applications? Did your advisors tell students to not acknowledge that they were radicals who want to bring down America and bring down America's allies? So, complicated problem. I don't think it's been addressed or discussed anywhere else. So I'm glad to have provided a forum for that discussion. I'm sure I'll get angry letters on all sides, but hey, that's what I do.